Show the phone. I'm getting sick and tired of you liberals asking me to prove that I got my Trump phone. How much more proof do you need? You guys are just jealous that I got a phone with a 1 megapixel camera.
We have some big news right now. Many in MAGA are upset because they spent $100 each on the Trump phone, and over a year later, they still haven't received it. And the Trump company that created this phone quietly updated its terms and conditions according to MoneyWise. These folks may never get it. 590,000 buyers paid $59 million to buy the Trump phone that was advertised by the president and his family. Not a single Trump phone has shipped to date, and many are upset about it. But now we're learning, according to MoneyWise, that on April 6, 2026, about a month ago, the company quietly updated its terms and conditions, making clear that a deposit of $100, which all of these people paid, is not actually acceptance to purchase the phone and only gives them the opportunity to continue buying it if it is offered for sale.
Wait. So the $100 didn't even buy anything. It bought you the privilege of being allowed to maybe spend more money later. That's like paying cover charge at a club and being told, hey, you're not actually inside yet, but if we decide to open the doors, you'll get the chance to buy a drink. $59 million collected. And the fine print now says none of that guarantees you'll ever hold this device. That's not a business model. That's a magic trick.
At this point, they're never going to get this phone if it continues this way, and they're not happy. I'll have more updates for you soon. As always, spread the word. Follow along to stay updated on all the news you need to know about. There'll be more to come soon.
You know the phrase, screw me once, shame on you, screw me twice, or in the case of Donald Trump and family, dozens and dozens of times, shame on me. Welcome back into Occupy Democrats. In this breaking story, the utter ineptitude of Donald Trump and family's grifting businesses is on full display and breach again in this breaking story. And what's amazing is they just keep screwing the MAGA faithful over.
Here's what gets me about this whole situation. Romney laid it all out 10 years ago. Prolonged recession, trade wars, rising prices. The man literally gave everyone a roadmap of exactly what was coming. And instead of listening, people called him the out-of-touch rich guy. Meanwhile, the actual out-of-touch rich guys were busy cooking up schemes to sell you a phone that doesn't exist. The irony is so thick you could spread it on toast when someone shows you who they are the first time. Believe them. Don't wait for scam number 47.
And I'm going to show you that breaking story in just a moment. For the life of me, why can't we have listened to, why didn't the GOP listen to Mitt Romney when he was crystal spot on clear, 10 years in advance on Donald Trump here?
If Donald Trump's plans were ever implemented, the country would sink into prolonged recession. The prospects for a safe and prosperous future are greatly diminished. His proposed 35% tariff-like penalties would instigate a trade war, and that would raise prices for consumers. A few examples.
And Adam Kinzinger points out the latest failed grift.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump took $59 million in deposits for a gold Trump phone last year. In June 2025, Don Jr. and Eric Trump stood on stage at Trump Tower and announced Trump Mobile.
Introduce Trump Mobile. We've partnered with some of the greatest people in the industry to make sure that real Americans can get true value from their mobile carriers.
Actually, Donald, you guys partnered with a Chinese tech company, and I thought you were really concerned about the Chinese stealing technology from us. Really?
Did you get yours? You didn't. And they're now telling consumers in the fine print that they may never actually get a phone, or they may not even get their money back.
A few examples.
Oh, there's more.
You said earlier today during the egg roll that you would like to take Iran's oil, but Americans want U.S. forces home.
Correct. If I had my choice, because I'm a businessman first.
No, you're the president, not a self-indulgent businessman, which is why Romney is spot on correct again.
His tax plan, in combination with his refusal to reform entitlements and to honestly address spending, would balloon the deficit and the national debt.
What it has? No, Donald, it wasn't a war. You used the U.S. military as a businessman to go steal the commodity of oil.
With Venezuela, as you know, the war was over in about 45 minutes, and we've taken over 100 million barrels already.
Romney again, stone cold right 10 years ago.
So even though Donald Trump has offered very few specific economic plans, what little he has said is enough to know that he would be very bad for American workers and for American families.
Trump is so bad at this, he can't even state the idiom of to the victor go the spoils.
You know, the old days, to the victim, okay? You know that. To the winner belong the spoils. Go the spoils.
Romney stone cold nails it.
But you say, wait. Isn't he a huge business success? Doesn't he know what he's talking about? No, he isn't. And no, he doesn't.
And in this breaking story, you heard about the Trump phone. What you didn't hear about...
They dropped a whole commercial.
Introducing the new T1 phone from Trump Mobile.
a powerful device designed for performance, reliability, and real American value.
I wouldn't call it powerful. It uses a budget Snapdragon chip, and it's made in China, so I also wouldn't call it American. Next.
Built with premium materials and a sleek modern design,
It's plastic.
the T1 delivers the speed and responsiveness you expect from a flagship smartphone.
The T1 is slower than flagship smartphones that came out 6 years ago. Do they ever list like an actual feature?
T1 includes a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack.
Yeah, all right.
This is the T1 phone. Is made for Americans.
Budget Snapdragon chip, plastic body, slower than 6-year-old flagship phones, and the big feature they bragged about in the commercial. A headphone jack, my guy. That's not a selling point. That's something you find on a $20 prepaid phone at a gas station. Every single word in that ad was designed to sound premium without actually being premium. Powerful. Sleek. Flagship. None of those words mean anything when the specs tell a completely different story. This is marketing 101. You dress up a budget device in patriotic language, and suddenly people pay 5 times what it's worth.
That they kind of got the American flag wrong. So far, no vapors or anything have come out of the box. You actually get a wall charger. And it's a clear case. They got the stars right. The stripes, however, that represent the 13 colonies, well, kind of missing a couple. T1, it's on Android. Back is plastic. It's got a camera oval with 3 cameras in it. And this is called a waterfall screen where it curves around the side. We saw a lot of these in like Samsung phones like 5 or 6 years ago. And then you kind of have the joint where the screen meets the body. So this is kind of has like almost like an apex to it. So you have like our volume rocker here, and of course the power button there, our headphone jack. So far it looks like our standard Android apps, a lot of Google stuff. Doctegrity, that's not a usual app. This app is called Truth Social. I've not used it before, but I believe it's a social media network. It has the date and time. And on the left side, it has the T1 phone logo. It's on all the photos I've taken. It's real. We have it. We did place a pre-order, and Trump Mobile did expedite our order because we are CNET.com. I hope that other people who pre-ordered it and who are not media outlets will also get their pre-orders, because if not, that would suck. And if they're not actually going to ship it to all these customers, I hope those customers are able to get a refund.
Hey, Trump supporter here. This goes out to Don Jr.
Man, hearing actual supporters, this frustrated really says something. This isn't some outside criticism from people who were never going to buy it anyway. These are the loyal ones, the day one buyers, the people who put their money where their mouth is. 4 phones ordered, 0 updates, 0 communication, just silence. And that right there is the part that should bother everyone the most. It's not about politics at this point. It's about basic consumer rights. You took someone's money. You made a promise. You deliver. That's how business works in any universe.
Eric, where the is my phones? I ordered 4 gold Trump phones in the summer. Now we can't get any updates on them.
He's not alone. A bunch of customers and MAGA fans are very angry to find that Donald Trump is breaking his word again. The Trump's family business has duped whatever fans it has left. This latest grift involves the Trump family's business failure to deliver promised Trump phones after getting down payments on them from a lot of customers. Now, how many people would actually like to buy a Trump gold phone at this juncture, say in the last year? Well, considering the past ripoffs and the fact that no major cell phones are actually produced in the U.S., so this seemed like a long shot, well, you might think not that many. But the answer is, well over 500,000 people each paid a $100 deposit to get in on the planned and promised Trump phone. Not a single confirmed customer, though, has gotten one. This is a report from the IBT. Meanwhile, the website for the so-called Trump Mobile, which isn't very mobile, includes a disclaimer. A pre-order doesn't guarantee a device will be produced or made available for purchase. I mean, that is just out there. A pre-order means not a pre-order. We just hold your $100 and we might never make the phone. The so-called Trump phone was announced with a lot of fanfare by Trump's sons last year.
Today we're here to introduce Trump Mobile, making phones in America. It's about time we bring products back to our great country.
We're going to be having call centers for Trump Mobile in St. Louis, so we're keeping our data onshore. We plan to build phones in America. All of our customer support is in America. A lot of people are getting ripped off, to say the least, because they don't pay attention to their cell phone plans. So I think we can do it better.
People are getting ripped off. They're going to do a better job. They're actually doing no job because they haven't shipped any phones. The company's selling point was that this somewhat gilded device would be made in America. You heard that in some of those clips. Now they say it will be proudly American. I guess that's kind of how the phone identifies. It will be designed with American.
Proudly American. Designed with American values in mind. Notice how carefully that language shifted from made in America to whatever this is. That's not an accident. That's a legal team rewriting copy at 3 in the morning. You can't manufacture something overseas and then slap a flag on it and call it homegrown. But honestly, the saddest part is the people who bought this specifically because they wanted to support American manufacturing. They had good intentions. They wanted to put their money towards something domestic, and instead their cash went straight to a Chinese factory.
American values in mind, sure. Whatever. But that's not how country of origin labeling works. If you're going to make something here or have it abroad, the mother of all tariffs president ought to know that. The phone reportedly now predominantly made in China. But again, that's if it's made. So far, the company now says, don't assume if you buy one or part of one that it'll ever be produced. So we don't know if it's ever going to be made or where.
Even the reviewer is basically saying go buy literally anything else, and he's being nice about it. He's dancing around it with all the politeness in the world. But the message is clear. $500 for this is insane when better options exist for a fraction of the price. If you want a solid budget Android, there are dozens that outperform this thing at half the cost.
I think there's just been a lot of changes with this, right? So if you got this Trump phone because it was made in the USA, I'm so sorry, it's not. If you got this Trump phone because it was kind of looked a little bit like an iPhone, it doesn't, nor does it perform like one. And that's okay, but it's the kind of the misdirection there. If you bought this phone because you support this family or this family's politics, that's okay. You get lovely branding on that. But if you did buy this phone...
They used a Spigen phone case image as their promotional photo. Didn't even remove the company logo before posting it. So the marketing team for a $59 million operation couldn't be bothered to do a basic crop. Spigen literally found out on Twitter and responded, "Bro, what? A phone case company is now threatening a lawsuit because someone stole their product image to sell a device that barely exists. This isn't just incompetence anymore. This is performance art levels of not caring. Every layer you peel back on this story somehow gets worse than the last one.
Because you think it's like the $500 phone to get, I would argue you might be able to find other ones. And if you're looking for, you want to be getting a phone that's unique and new, that's never existed before, I would have a lot of people looking at that Clicks communicator phone.
ये है यूएस के प्रेसिडेंट डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का नया फोन T1। भाई फोन की मार्केट में अलग अलग कंपनी आती रहती है, बट यूएस के प्रेसिडेंट डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने अपना खुद का स्मार्टफोन लॉन्च करा है। फोन पूरा ही गोल्डन कलर का है भाई, इस पे लिख रखा है मेक अमेरिका ग्रेट अगेन। 47 का रिचार्ज है इसके अंदर, 47 प्रेसिडेंट है भाई यूएस के। फोन में 5000 mAh की बैटरी है, एक अमेरिकन फ्लैग उसके अंदर एम्बॉस कर रखा है। बोला जा रहा है कि भाई ये बहुत ज्यादा सेफ है और ये हैक करना बहुत ज्यादा मुश्किल है। मैन्युफैक्चरिंग भी यूएस में बताई गई है, बट एक्चुअली कहां पे हो रही है ये एग्जैक्टली नहीं पता। काफी लोगों का कहना है भाई चाइना या कोई ऐसे पार्ट्स इंपोर्ट करके बस यहाँ पे डिजाइन कर दिया गया। 6.8 इंच का AMOLED 120 हर्ट्ज का डिस्प्ले है, 15 के ऊपर चलता है। ट्रिपल कैमरा सेटअप है, बट दो कैमरा 2 मेगापिक्सल के, मतलब दिखावे के। बट वेबसाइट पे प्रोसेसर का नामो निशान नहीं है। बिना प्रोसेसर जाने $499 क्या आप दोगे? मोदी जी को अपना फोन लॉन्च करना चाहिए।
$75 on eBay. $500 with a logo, same phone, same chip, same everything, just a different sticker on the back. That's a $425 branding tax, and she's laying it out perfectly. At some point, you got to ask yourself, am I buying a product or am I buying an identity? Because the product already exists for a fraction of the price, and it'll actually show up at your door.
A cell phone case company is threatening to sue Trump Mobile. You know that like phone that they're trying to grift people with? They have a whole phone service they're claiming is like the American phone service. This phone doesn't exist. They're taking deposits. They're taking $100 deposits from people for a phone that doesn't exist. So this is the image that they posted of the supposed T1 phone that is made in America, but it's not. Cell phone case company Spigen saw this image on Twitter and responded, "Bro, what?" Because that's their case, just photoshopped. And the reason we know it's their case, they didn't even bother to take the Spigen logo off the image when they photoshopped it before they put it up. This phone doesn't exist. Spigen followed up their "bro what" tweet with this on their own page, lawsuit incoming, because this is their case that they're using. They have since changed the image on the website to a more generic looking T1 phone. The funniest thing to me is that they claim it's made in America, but then when you look at the actual way they worded it, it's clear that it's not actually made in America. It's just an American proud design. It's brought to life here in the USA with American hands behind it. What does that mean? They're not making this shit in the United States. The fact that people are sending them their money, they're charging a $100 deposit for this phone that doesn't exist, and claiming that once it ships, they will then charge you the remaining $399, because the whole thing's going to be $500, I believe, for this phone. Not a real phone yet, though. Doesn't exist. How are these people this, like, who's falling for this? Who is sending money for this? Even if it was real. That looks like an iPhone 5.
This is just sad. Today, the Trump family announced that their Trump Mobile T1 phone has begun shipping. But get this, the phone is mass-produced and manufactured in China by Chinese state-influenced company Wingtech Technology. And it gets even worse. The phone that Trump's selling for $500 is just a rebranded Revel 7 Pro, which you can buy on eBay or Walmart for as low as $75.